good afternoon and good evening wherever you might find yourself in this world. It's just gone past noon here in South Africa. We're flying in real time. And this is just another little GA flight. I'm going to go east this time. Go on, see what's beyond the mountains and in the mountains, and just have a little bit of a relaxing flight again. So, welcome. And as usual, leave your comments and suggestions, and then we just chat as we go on. I've just discovered that YouTube's got a brand new beta live stream control panel, and it's quite fascinating. I'm going to have to investigate this a little bit further. Hello, Norman. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Nice to see you up and early. Hey, Ferry. Good afternoon. So this is the trusted little Robin again, and we are at Cape Town International Airport. So we're going to take off, and I think runway active is 16, yep, according to the weather. We'll be using 16 to a straight out departure going into the direction of Stellenbosch. We will go past Helderberg and all the bits of mountains on the left. We will climb up over Sir Lowry's Pass, go towards Grabouw, and then towards the Charlie Delta Victor VOR. Just before we get to the VOR, there is a neck that we're going to go through in between the mountains there. Let me actually get my map on screen, and then you guys can follow what I'm saying. Little nav map. Let's get you on screen there, and let's actually make you a little bit bigger. So that is the plan. That is what we are thinking about doing, and just lock it into position so we don't move it. So what we're going to do is go east. We won't go over the mountains. We're going to go past this area over here, past the Strand. The area is called the Strand, and then Gordon's Bay. Climb up over Sir Lowry's Pass. That road there is called Sir Lowry's Pass. We're going to go up, and then just after this little patch over there, we're going to make our left turn towards Worcester. And I'll see when we get there. We'll probably do a landing quickly and just look around. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see what we do. And then we're going to fly towards Ardas. I'm not sure if I'm going to cut it short or if I'm going to go through that lower bit in the mountains there. We'll see. We'll see how much time it takes and how exciting the flight actually is. But that's the plan, guys. So if you have the time and you can join me, thank you so much. And I'm just going to do it for some fun on a Sunday afternoon. Okay, so the fuel looks okay. We can close our canopy. Then we need to get our preheater going. Guys, like yesterday, I'm going to tune the sound down a little bit in Explain, but if it gets too much and you can't hear me, please let me know. It's very important that my sound doesn't get drowned away. Right, preheating has been done. We can get our fuel going. Put some fuel in the pump there. There we go. I hope that's sufficient. So you guys must just keep me posted. And that's our alternator. we should be tuned into the Cape Town VOR. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tune this other VOR that we're going to fly towards, 114.90. Alright, so that's Cape Town and that's Jolly Delta Victor, so we can actually then change that way. So we've got a general idea in which direction to fly, and I'm going to get this on approximately 160. Alright, are you guys well? Are you guys doing okay on this Easter weekend? I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're getting some rest. Alright, that's the trim wheel kicking in there. Alright, I'm ready if you guys are ready. Excellent, Ferry. I don't own the 767, but they tell me it's a good aircraft, so would love to hear your opinion about that as well. And welcome, Martin. Excellent, Ferry. That's good news. We have a bit of a taxi ahead of us. I mean, this GA parking is way to the back of this airport, and we need to go right to the front to get to runway 16 now. I'm just taking a break, don't worry. I'm gonna go back to Zebo later this afternoon. After flying with this aircraft here in this area last night, I woke up this morning with this burning urge. I need to just go do the second bit as well. The second part is going east over and into the mountains a little bit. Because that's one thing that Cape Town has that Johannesburg does not have, and those are the mountains, man. These guys have got some pretty nice mountains. Hey Andy. Oh, excellent, excellent. I wasn't sure if this was an appropriate time because in South Africa, um, most people are going to look at lunchtime between now and 1 o'clock, you know. So, but this is a good time for me, so I'm just trying my best. These brakes are sharp. I mean, I'm trying to just slow down a little bit, and this thing is bouncing all over the place if I just touch them. Wow. Yeah, you guys are lucky. We're going for winter now, so you guys must enjoy your summer. Eh? Wish I was there. Excellent, excellent, Andy. How's the sound, guys? Are you okay with my voice and the engine together? I'll ask you when we're in the air as well, you know, once we've got some decent RPM going, but just for interest sake. Janix, good morning. Thanks, Normand. Guys, if you want to join me on Discord, the link is below the video in the description. So it's a matter of interest if you want to say hi. Hello, Liam. Oh, this aircraft, it is a nightmare to actually taxi with this thing. I don't want to taxi this far again in a while, eh? I'm not complaining. Sorry, I need to put that into perspective. It's just, if you just touch the brakes, it takes a nosedive one way or another. This is the freeware Robin that I'm flying today, Liam. Yeah, we're taking the long scenic route by road. We're actually driving, we're not flying. This is the Robin, Liam. Beautiful, beautiful, wonderful little aircraft. I was just saying the brakes are a bit sharp. Wow, they're harsh. Okay, so guys, that's Cape Town city pointing that way, and that's the famous Table Mountain, just to get you guys into perspective of where we are at. Let's actually zoom out a little bit. We've got False Bay there. That's where you find all the great white sharks, and that's the city and the mountain, and Eysterplaat Air Force Base, Tygerberg Mountain over there. And we're gonna go that way, somewhere there, somewhere there. Yeah, good comments, good comments. All right, guys. Let's get going. We have a 15 knot wind, which is going to be interesting in this takeoff. If I end up in the rough, laugh with me, not at me. But let's see how this little aircraft's going to handle this 15 knot wind. That's also the reason why I'm taking runway 16, because it's almost going to be from the front. Anyways, according to the METAR, I see the actual wind display here showing us a completely different thing as to what the METAR says, but anyway. Now it's changed its mind. 18 knots. So Cape Town is known as the Windy City as well. That's one of its nicknames, and I can tell you one thing, it's not disappointing. One of the things that you guys will see here is there's a lot of movement in this cabin. I've got Experialistic running here, so there's lots of movement. You can actually feel and notice the movement, and you can feel this wind. I mean, that's one of the things that makes X-Plane so nice. Well, Ferry, you know me, I don't fly anything except the Zibo usually. This is something different for me. I just thought yesterday, no, let's make a change. Somebody on the Zibo stream said, you know, we must do a GA flight, and it just appealed to me. So I just said, okay, let's do it. Ferry, I don't. Because I'm spending all my time with the Zibo, I feel it will be lost to me to actually go and buy the BM at this point in time. Maybe one day, but my focus is way too much on other stuff. It's literally going to sit in my hangar, like most of my other aircraft, you know, not getting used. Nope, no VR. I also don't intend on getting it very soon. I've tried VR on other platforms and I don't know, it still has to grow on me. Martin, yeah, I've seen that, and I've spent so much money on setting up my cockpit here, getting everything in place the way that I want it. For me to spend another 10,000-15,000 rand on getting one of those headsets and then going through all those stories, I don't know, it's just something that doesn't appeal to me right now. I do have a, where is that thing? My daughter had it here earlier. I've got one of these VR headsets for the mobile phone. You know, and it's fun playing around with that a little bit. That's one of the other platforms I, you know, toyed with it. but it gets old also very quickly for me. I presume it's because it's a limited platform. Might be different in the sim. But that's something we got for free with one of the contract upgrades we got. Okay, so my son brought me the goggles here quickly. It's the Oculus Gear VR. That's what I've got for the mobile phone. Like I say, it's fun to a point, you know. On the mobile platform, it got a bit expensive because every second thing that you want, or every thing eventually, once you run out of the freeware stuff to look at, you've got to buy. And it just became ridiculous, you know, money-wise. It's just a gimmick, I suppose, for the mobile phones. Well, Liam, yes and no. I've spoken to a lot of guys who use VR, and if you guys on here also use VR, you're welcome to chip in. But from what I understand, the resolution isn't as good yet. There is a little bit of an issue with resolution. And one of the things that is important for me is to have all my controls and everything. And if I have to sit and fiddle with a little pointer to get things done, I'm going to get frustrated. So I suppose there must be a hybrid way of doing the thing, but because I haven't got it, I haven't tried it, and I won't know. This Oculus headset that I've got here, you can actually set the focal point. So you must just check. I'm pretty sure you can get the blurriness away if you just set it properly. But then again, I'm not sure if it's the same thing or if the bigger ones have got similar functions. They should have actually more functions, but who knows. That in the background, that's Stellenbosch. That's where we took off yesterday for the previous little tour that we did. Over here we've got the Strand, and then we've got Gordons Bay. And if you continue on the right hand side, you'll eventually get to Hermanus, but we're going to just go a little bit to the left here. Okay, I never saw that. I've been there a few times. I've seen that. And this is a Lowry's Pass coming up this mountain over here. Hello, Jacques. Welcome to the stream. Okay, cool. What are you flying, Jacques? Guys that joined a little bit like that's the route. We're obviously here at the bottom of the Grabo now, and then gonna aim for that little neck over there to get through the mountains, and then we'll go to Wister and then come back and land over Santerville. No, that's the plan. Okay, cool, Jacques, lekker. Right, so just after this little hill over there, I'm going to make the left turn. Doc, do you have the auto for XP in this area like I do, or are you flying default explain still? Normand, great minds think alike. I was just thinking the same thing. I think next weekend we must arrange a little GA flight here. Same story, or similar story at least. But then we get a couple of guys to come and fly together on 20FS. You know, make a nice group flight out of this. I think this is a lovely area to do that. Oh, of course. Well, we'll make a time, you know, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon here or something like that. And I mean, we can change the time in X-planes, even if we do it local night time to get you guys on board. That should be fine. This room is really making me work for my money today. Up and down, up and down. One of my old real world pilot buddies stays somewhere in the Cape area now. I think he's more towards Malmesbury. We're going to go past there later on in this flight. So it's on the other side of the mountains now again. But him and I used to fly the Charlie 210s, and he was in fact one of the first guys who ever gave me the chance to sit left seat in real world. So that shows you how far way back that goes. But anyway, I'm just sitting here thinking maybe it's time to organize something like this. When I go to Cape Town, I'd love to do this flight in real world day. Take a 210 again and just go fly. Must be awesome to fly this. Martin, the link is in the previous video. I'm gonna have to get you the link when my hands are not full, as they are, because I'm not on autopilot, I'm actually flying this plane, so I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one, or go look in the previous video towards the end from yesterday. The link is in there, but it shouldn't be hard to find. Just type in explain and then free Robin or something to that effect. You should get it immediately. Thanks, Norman. I've allowed that link so everybody can have a look. Yeah, me neither. Yesterday I was actually kind of apprehensive flying with this aircraft, to be quite honest, because you know, if you don't do something for a while, you tend to lose the grace that you do it with, and you have to get on the bike and try again and then figure it out, and you know, it comes back, but it could be embarrassing to a certain degree, I suppose. I hardly ever fly GA because of spending all my time in Zibo, so this is actually kind of very relaxing and much fun now. And I love my orthos. Man, I'm so glad I made these ones. So I want to do another Zibo flight pretty much in the next 2 or so hours, 2-3 hours from now. I'm thinking of flying this new LTFM airport in Istanbul, and I was thinking of flying from Athens to go up north, northeast towards that airport. But I don't know if you guys have had a look at the new airport and the actual approaches that you have to fly in there. I don't know the area, so I'm not sure whether there are mountains or what the situation is, but you must check those approaches. They are zigzag, zigzag, up, down, left, right, you know, it's crazy. So I think my next stream later today is going to be flying one of those ones. And this area is beautiful. Wow. Imagine staying here in the middle of nowhere. Martin, I'm thinking about 3 p.m. local time, so depending on how late we land this one, I just want an hour or two's break in between, so I'll tell you a better specific time once we land this one. But I think about 3 or maybe 4 p.m. Local time, so that's going to be within the next 2 hours and 10 minutes approximately, something like that, or you know, we can talk about that when we land. I'll see if they've got, they should have, so we'll see what we can do now. Sorry, Martin. Yeah, I did. That's nice, all these little Easter eggs they hide for us. Have you ever opened the glove compartment in the default 172? Do you see the bobblehead that's in there? Martin, each and every stream, unless there's a big stuff up somewhere, each stream gets saved for later viewing, so you can always come back later. I think in all the time I've streamed, I've deleted 2 streams. One was because I was really feeling down that day, and you, the viewers, didn't, and I didn't feel good about keeping it up, because even I could hear that my voice was just terrible. So I got rid of that one, and then there was one where I actually crashed in a very stupid way, and I don't want to keep that one up. So I don't mind the crashes that are fun, but when it's a stupid, I can keep that one. Just remember, Martin, when we save our streams on YouTube, it takes a good 3 hours or more for YouTube to completely render them and to actually put the comments with. The first couple of times I tried it, I was really annoyed until I realized what they're doing. They obviously have to get everything in the right order and in the right place, so that takes a couple of hours, and then all of a sudden you can see the comments and the chat and things again. Okay. Didn't know that. I tried flying the 747 once from Durban to Johannesburg, and it was such a disaster. I have never had the inclination to even try again. Not sure how good an idea it would be to try touch and go. Yeah, I'm going to give it a bash, but according to the METAR, it's 150 at 20 gusting 33. Might be a little bit too much for this little aircraft, we'll see. Oh, hang on, that's Cape Town weather. It says Cape Town, sorry. So it might be better this side. The windy city for no reason, eh? That's another thing I like about Explain. You don't need authors for that. The airports are not that visible. Usually in FSX and E3T you can see the airports miles away. This one's nicely hidden. I don't know if you guys can spot it already. We'll see now. I see the wind is against us here, so I'm just going to do a flyby. It's actually across the center line a little bit, so you guys can at least see some of the hangars as well. Guys, the scenery is in my private hangar below the video. It's obviously not 100% as it is. This is just stock standard explain elements that I used, so it's very generic, but the hangars are in the right place. Taxiways, runway, everything is in the right place. So I made this for a VATSIM thing that we had once. You're welcome to take a copy if you want. Right, so now I'm going to have to climb a little bit again. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nope. Nope. Whatever is not in the cooler bag on that passenger seat is not reachable. You just don't worry about it. You leave it. There are two things that we used to take with us. The cooler bag and the wee john. I don't know if you guys know what the wee john is, but it's basically for the toilet purposes, in the GA aircraft. And I've never ever used a single one, but it's good to know that you've got it with you, because it's not like you can quickly pull up into a service station or something and just park and run to a toilet when you're flying like this. I see the mountains are not that high, or I'm just high enough to go over them anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly to Ardas, which is our normal star entry point into Cape Town when we fly the Boeing. So once I get to Ardas, which is just ahead of us, I'm going to take a left over these mountains and go look for Visantograph. Martin, we have gone through the Grand Canyon, me and Cloudy Box and a couple of our other friends, twice now, or 3 times now, in fact, 3 times now in the last week, because I shared some scenery for the Grand Canyon with the guys, and it's like a bug that bit everybody. Cloudy was actually streaming it on his YouTube, and at least 2 of the other guys, Grau and what was the other guy? I know there was another guy. He was also streaming it, the whole time as we were gunning through the Grand Canyon. And I tell you what, that was an experience. I mean, literally, we did it 3 times now the last week. But when you fly in the canyon, guys, this is something I figured out as well while we were doing this. If you ever fly with orthos in the canyon, you have to set your texture quality to maximum. Otherwise, it's very blurry. If you go down too low and too close, because we were doing like we were flying Cessna 172s, but acting like fighter jets down there, going through all those curves in the river, just slightly above the river. You have to have your texture quality high, otherwise it looks bad. Yeah, I didn't stream it myself. I was just flying, because that was like 1 o'clock in the morning South African time that we did that. Crazy people in South Africa do things like that. So for them it's normal US time, because Cloudy's in Seattle and most of the guys actually are somewhere there. So but that was fun. I must actually share the scenery with you guys as well. You must check the scenery. If you install it properly and correctly, it's like the most beautiful scenery for the airports in that area. It is amazing to fly there. When I get my hands back after I've landed, I'm going to share that scenery with you. So Airbus is right in front of us here. Let's turn. Yeah, enough. It looks like it. So the other guy was ground point 9er. That was just thinking about that now. Nice updraft. I'm not sure if this is I'll put it a different way. I'm sure it is active sky, but I'm not sure if this is going to be available in the default weather. But this is sure realistic when you get your updrafts and stuff when you go over the high terrain. Your hands are kind of full when you fly an aircraft like this and you've got to contend with the winds and updrafts and downdrafts and things. It's amazing how these guys make these things. Right, so if we continue flying straight, which we're not going to do, we end up at Malmesbury that I mentioned earlier. I think that's where that old friend might stay, somewhere in that area. We're going to take a left now. Martin, I don't know. I haven't thought about that because I see I went through 700 overnight. I went to bed with 699 and this morning I had 701 when I woke up. So, I don't know. Also, I want to tell you something else. It's not that easy to identify the people. So it's not really as if I can give the guys any gifts, you know, because I can't determine who the guys are. We don't have a list. I sometimes see when people subscribe. I sometimes don't see when they subscribe. I mean, the last two that came in overnight, I only got one notification, so I don't know who is the other one. So it's not like I can really give anybody a gift for subscribing unless it happens on air and I see the guy do it. I won't even know who it is. Okay, so we're on the home stretch now. We need to go in between these two little hills over here and then somewhere right in front of us should be something. I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm planning on doing a bit of a more formal training series. So I don't want to say too much, but I've already got the first 10 episodes planned, alright, which will give you something similar but with much more detail and much easier, shorter videos to handle than the previous 4 or 5 hour training flights that we did. And I'll try and get that done by about 1,000 subscribers, and then it's specifically for the Zibo, it's specifically Boeing orientated. It's going to discuss plenty more of the theory. I'm amazed sometimes at the level of detail the guys want to know, and I've listened to a couple of guys explain to me what they want to know. So we're going to go into really a lot of detail, as much as possible, for Series 1. Series 2 is going to probably be where we're going to involve one of the real world Zibo guys, one of the real world pilots involved there, where they're going to do the advanced kind of stuff, where we're going to talk about the different approaches and the different... I'll obviously touch on it in my series, but it's not nowhere near as advanced as listening to a real world guy like Flight Deck Sim or Cloudybox. So I'll ask one of them, probably Cloudybox, obviously, because we're friends, so see what we can do. Look at advanced training for Series 2 and then see what happens after that. But that's all in the planning stages, guys. Nothing concrete yet. I've put it on paper, it's there. I need to go find time to actually sit and do it properly and do a proper video production about it. It's not going to be a live stream, so that we can have like a little encyclopedia reference point that we can go to and say, I want to learn how to fly this thing, that's what you need to know. But it's going to be at such a level of detail that any noob can use it, and it's going to be at such a level of detail that any of the guys who are used to flying it will get enhancement in their training. Yeah, Martin, Zibo is not going to always be a construction site. At some point in time he's going to say this is the end of freeware, this is the end of where we go, we're not going to take it any further, but there's a lot of work still that has to be done. I've actually thought all by my lonesome self. I'm wondering if X-Plane 12 isn't going to come before Zibo is finished. So I can probably see another year or two's development in the Zibo ahead. Depending on a few factors, but there's months ahead. Okay, so I'm descending for Visante Crawl. Norman, no, I'm not aware. I'm really not aware. I'm concentrating with everybody else on the curved lines and on the porting to C++. Those are the two most important things that we tackle now. This aircraft needs to move away from the script language and get onto proper C++. From there on, we are talking about failures, but that's a more longer term thing. I think in my mind, in my opinion, the next step is going to be to build the FMC, to finish the FMC, because there's a couple of pages and a couple of calculations missing there. So I think that will be the next focus. Because what else is missing? I mean, there's not much missing in it. It's literally about the FMC now. It's about getting the proper FMC going at the next level, and then Cloudy Box was saying that he hates the certain aspects of the cockpit, and he would like to redo the cockpit, give us better visuals in the cockpit, a better cockpit. Let's leave it at that. So I'm not sure if that's going to happen and when that's going to happen, but we're talking about things way in the future now. In my mind, the next thing is the FMC. One other thing that comes to mind, Norman, is the FMOD audio bird, his work. When I listen to the work that he's done in the Max and also in the 700, then I'm pretty sure at some point in time we'll get some other FMOD update for the 800 as well, because the sound in the 700 is much better than in the 800. So I think he's probably going to do something like that as well, but that's not Zico himself, that's obviously Audio Bird. This wind looks rough. It's 23 knots from the side. That's why I'm going a bit wide. There is a runway that we can use for that wind direction. That's the airport over there, guys. Let's just see what we can do if we can actually land there. Norman, yeah, that is something that's floating around on the forums and on Facebook and all. I think that would be lovely, but I don't think it's doable in the current configuration at all because of the scripts and everything. So probably after C++, that could also become a reality. This wind is not my friend. Look at the grabbing that we're doing. My goodness. Yeah, it's very sensitive, very, very sensitive. This runway is short. This is not the best runway, but we'll see what we can do. Check how this wind is keeping me up. It's a lot of wind flow over those airfoils. Well, there you go. Welcome to Fisantegral, guys. I'm gonna watch a replay of this. I want to see this. Let's have a look, see. see what this actually looked like. Ach nee man. Ai. Oi, sorry guys. That looks funny, but you know what happened. Yeah, brand new. It's all for got to do with stability. Buy the plane, get the extra features for free. That breaks the illusion, but anyway. Well, guys, thank you for flying Robin Air today, and I hope you guys enjoyed the flight. And we must really try next week. Let's see if we can get this thing going for a group flight. And I quickly want to get you the scenery for the Grand Canyon. You guys really need to check this out. Alright, I found it here. I'm going to give you the links just now. So there are 2 downloads that you need, and you must obviously make sure that you get the appropriate libraries going as well. That's the first link. And this is your second link. Alright, so if you guys, happy Easter, yeah, Martin, same to you, and Norman, everybody else too. If you guys get this scenery, this would be a nice place to go do a group flight, because I've got some experience in that now as well. There's bush dirt strips, you've got the tarred strips, you've got the normal situation with proper airports and the off-airport airports, you know. So this is awesome scenery, guys. Right, well, happy Easter, guys. I hope you guys have a fabulous time and remember what it's all about, and I hope you have some rest and that we can see each other a little bit later again. So I see it's about 1:30. I think what I'm going to do is I'll plan the next stream for 5 p.m. local time. So I'm going to do the setup on YouTube, so you guys can set a reminder for yourself. That's going to be 1500 Zulu. Alright, and then we'll look at that LTFM airport if we can. Unless I change my mind and so on, but we'll talk about that later. Great stuff. That's it for me. Enjoy, Jacques. I am on Discord if you want to quickly say hi. Otherwise, we'll talk later. Bye bye, guys.